Cancer, welcome to July. Happy birthday. I'm Ruby and this is Rubyreadstarot. Mercury retrograde, 7 of Pentacles. Cancer, work might be a real blessing this month of July. I think you'll really begin to see some of those fruits of your labor paying off quite nicely. And I think if anything, this Mercury retrograde is really going to show you a lot about how your work is paying off and how work's in a really good place. And everything else can kind of come secondary. Work is the focus of the month. You reap what you sow, Cancer, and it looks as if you really have been reaping a lot of the good stuff. I think with the North Node in your sign last year and a lot of the focus for this month might have to do with this eclipse in your sign. It might teach you a lot about how you've put in work and how you've really got your head down and how you've really found a lot of the rewards that you might have been seeking in other aspects of your life, more so through your work. And I think this is especially special for you in July because Ten of Swords, I think you've really come from a place of feeling quite betrayed and backstabbed. Feeling as if there wasn't really anywhere else you could go with the situation because all of the damage had pretty much been done. Your saving grace has been your efforts that you've put in towards something that pays you financially, brings you financial yields. A cycle that you might be ending with this retrograde, the world, the cycle that you might be ending with this retrograde, 10 of Cups, and the 9 of Cups has meant that in order for you to really get close to this idea of happy home, who you want to be with, who you should be with, and who you really shouldn't be with, has meant 9 of Cups. There's been a real heavy emphasis on how content you are by yourself, how comfortable you are being the center of your life, the protagonist in your story, without having to really rely on, friends, family, home even. It's had to really come from you. And I think in July, you will really begin to see how you're really okay with a lot of stuff that may have taken place that might have meant you had to absorb a lot of negativity from your surroundings, just from the situation even. You come full circle with it. And I think with the end of this Mercury retrograde and, the rest of the shadow period up until the end of July, the possibility of finding true contentment, that family that family that you were searching for, the family that you wanted to create, the relationship that you didn't necessarily have with your mum or your dad, or even your partner, how a lot of it does really stem from how happy you are being you, and if this month might teach you anything, it might have a lot to do with how you redefine yourself from having been full circle with a certain situation, having had to really bury a few things. When you move forward, it will be big, Cancer. What you're moving towards is something that you may not have known yet. A new phase in your life, July might mean that you are really not taking things as personally as you would have once before, but seeing how being receptive towards the world means that not only does your finances and your work, your career, your identity as a human, your identity as who you are, even within this 9 of Cups, leads you to something that might mean you get to reconcile something that you've wanted for a really long time but not quite been able to acquire. 2 of Cups. When it rains, it pours, Cancer. There is the real possibility, and I say it, I've been saying it since the beginning of the year for you, Cancer, and it's your season now. This Two of Cups, this partnership, doesn't need to be romantic. This is a union though. And even if this is you finally deciding to reconcile with yourself and make sure that you're okay, the Two of Cups shows up to tip you over the 10. If you're willing to close out a cycle gracefully, Cancer, the World card pretty much sums up that what you get this month is exceeding what you expected. Ten of Swords has to come with its own version of clearing energy hooks. Do you see how they're all plugged into him? July might mean clearing out a few skeletons from the closet and actually like addressing certain shadows within ourselves even. Listen, your ruling planet is the moon, and we all need to learn from you guys how to clean out the closets, how to address our shadows. And if I think this last year where the North Node was in your sign had anything to teach us, was that the quicker we are, like the tide, the more efficient we are about cleaning up our own gunk. Page of Wands, the freer we are, the more charismatic we are, the truer we are to messages of authenticity of who we are, basically. The energy is there once you're really true to yourself. The energy is totally there once you're actually clearing out and healing. The energy is there once you decide, Magician card and the Tower card. Gemini, Virgo energy that subconsciously, Cancer. And with this like new moon that's taking place in your sign on Sunday, subconsciously, like, you know it's time to just be honest about clearing out this skeleton. 10 of Swords and the Tower card amidst all of this beauty. So let's just be aware of it for a minute, because it needs to be looked at, right? Okay, let's be aware of this. So you did this, and you did it, and you did it, and you did it, and you did it, and you tried, and you took on more than you should have, and you absorbed a whole bunch of negativity, you got a whole bunch of hooks in you, and it may have led you down a path that you weren't necessarily sure of where you were going, and it perhaps didn't end as well as it should have. This Mercury retrograde, July, moving forward out the shadow period, when Venus goes direct, it will really help you organize your thoughts about a certain relationship. Could be fire sign, could be Gemini, Virgo. And I don't think that this relationship is significantly prominent in your life at the moment. I think this is something that you're having to like Mercury is bringing up, Magician card, only to put you in your top power again, only to reawaken your manifestation again, only to show you that the possible likelihood of this stuff is so there in your energy, and it is so what you want, and it might have been something that you've been working progressively on. There is just a little bit of shadow that needs to get you to really just clear it out once and for all. And if family problems arise, or, you know, memories, and you're reliving the past and all the rest of it, maybe it might be time to like heal those unconscious emotional patterns of thinking, you know, all of that healing stuff. The moon will be going into your sign tonight, and I think this will be a really nice initiation for this next season, this Cancer season, your season. get really comfortable with the fact that this is going to be Cancer energy. And don't even spook yourself out, right? Nostalgic, dreamy, really delving into the subconscious and really being able to blow it all out of the water. You initiate a new season, yet there is certain ghosts that need healing from the past. Don't take anything personally at this point, Cancer. A lot of what you're pouring into yourself brings you the rewards that you need, just in the time that you need, with the possibility for you to gain a bit of confidence again. Courage, charisma, Page of Wands. Energy. This is the energy, right? You need this sun energy. If you are a mother, I think this energy might be something that is asking you... I'm going to move to another deck. To see where it is, you can try some new beginnings. Maybe make some time for yourself. Perception. Where it is that your perception might need a bit of tweaking at the moment. Where it is that you aren't necessarily seeing the abundance around you. You're not necessarily seeing the opportunities that you have. Where it is that you, the way you think, the way you're beginning to see things might need a bit of readjustment. There is an emerald here. An emerald is the stone of Mercury. Going into retrograde, I would really say your own stone of ruby and the stone of emerald would be really good for you. Completion. I think a completion is pretty obvious. We've got the Tower card here and the Ten of Wands. You're very likely to be completing a cycle with someone. And it doesn't even need to be a someone. It could be completion of a way of thinking. Finally putting the ghost of a relationship past in the past. And once you decide to see that you really are at the you're at a crossroads, even not even a crossroads, the World card has pretty much summed up that that cycle is done. The cycle is done. It's well and truly done. And the possibility for this Two of Cups, Ten of Cups for you is abundantly apparent here, Cancer. It's your perception. It's literally down to how you're seeing or choosing to see the situation. Is the cup half empty, or are those two very full cups? Renewal and creation. Take this sun energy, take this July month, take this period, Cancer, to pour into your own cup, because I feel as if the more you're open to reviving yourself, and I think this sun energy is going to mean that it doesn't need to be all tears. There's a lot of growth that can happen from here, creation, and the more open you are to hearing what the universe has to say to you at the moment, to spending time with the moon, seeing what it is. See, in both cards, there is the moon behind the lady, behind the figure. You might really need to listen to yourself, your intuition at the moment. I feel like it's going to be on point, and I think there is a part of you that's really telling you that the things that you've wanted, Cancer, the possibilities of all of that are really present right now. It's just how you're choosing to see the situation. Emotional withdrawal. Sacral chakra. Harmony. That is the Two of Cups. Love begins. Light. And financial and material changes. The possibility of payouts this month. The possibility of finally seeing a lot of money come through. From work that you've done, work that you've put in. You've got the real possibility of that this month, Cancer. Harmony, Two of Cups. That for me is a period of bliss. It is a period where you're exclusively channeling the sun energy and you're choosing to stay in the light this Mercury retrograde. Regardless of all of the shadows that might come with it, regardless of all of the changes that are inevitable, that you know that you're finally going to have to make. Light and sacral chakra. Get into your sacral chakra. That is a water chakra. So connecting to the element of water. Ebbs and flows, emotional withdrawal. Just seeing where it is that you might need to pull back. You know, try not to overshare too much. Try not to give a negative spin on things, I think. Be aware also of the negativity that you might be absorbing from like social media or other sources. Completion, the world. This is like a really abundant time for you, Cancer. And I've been saying it since the beginning of this year. You're really going to luck out in love this year. This year is going to be fantastically beautiful for you in regards to love. It's about your perception though. It is about how you're choosing to see the situation. Keystones for this season, I would say, are ruby and emerald. So choose to keep them on you. And I think that's all I have for you guys. If you enjoy the reading, do give it a thumbs up. I'm Ruby. To book a reading, visit rubyreadstarot.com, and I shall catch you guys again soon.